Hey guys, welcome back to another lifting session. This is the same kind of sprint bias workout from before, so I'm not filming every exercise. I've already done the single leg safety squat bar, and now I'm doing the one kind of the band psoas. So in this particular one, there's only resistance going out, nothing coming back. But I thought I'd maybe do a little more in-depth, how-to on how to do the exercise. If I'm doing this leg, I'm gonna doing the right leg, hold on with the right hand, trying to keep my upper body, a little bit forward, but still, I don't want it doing this if I can help it. Probably can't help it a whole lot, but I'm trying to keep it still. I'm also up on my toes just a little bit instead of flat-footed on the left foot. I'm not all the way up, but just to where kind of like that heel's just off the ground a little bit. I have the foot turned out, I don't know, 20, 30 degrees, just to try to help get a little bit more of that hip flexor. And so I got both bands of resistance on the front, and then I do it for 10 seconds. So let's go ahead and do the second set. All right. So, I can feel the glute stuff on that side working too. So the stance side, definitely feel hip flexor on the other side. Oh. All right, let's do it for the other leg. All right. That gets a little tiring. Definitely feel hip flexors, like I said, in that stance leg. So some of this is working on that kind of contraction, so a quick contraction speed of that, but then also the relaxation and then kicking back in again. Definitely something we need for athletic performance. So hopefully I'll be able to get back on the track soon, and we'll see if it's carrying over there. All right, so the one new exercise for today, I've done a variation of this a long time ago, but I'm just gonna do drops. So in this case, plantar flexion drops. So I'm gonna drop off the box, try to not let my heels touch, but just keep the legs pretty straight too, and just see if I can kind of stick the landing. I may bounce, that's not a bad thing if I do bounce some. I just don't want the knees to give or the ankle to give where the heel touches. So that was pretty good. Do two more. All right, so the goal for these is to build stiffness in the ankle. In this case, I'm not talking about stiff, like I have no flexibility. I'm talking about where there's a good contraction, co-contraction, where that foot's gonna hit and pop back up off the ground when I'm running and sprinting. And these have worked well for me before in the past, so figured I'd add them in today too. Okay, that's it for today. I'll add that other video at the end here, so if you want to see the other exercises, you can. If you've already seen them before, then you've already seen it before, no need to watch it now. But a lot of this stuff is kind of designed to help out with some different concepts from Franz Bosch, concepts like co-contraction around the joint, and then also muscle slack. A lot of times we have to get rid of that slack to then be able to do something. The longer it takes to get rid of that slack and then move, well, it's just going to slow you down. So that means longer or slower sprint times. So we want to try to do that quickly. And that's where sometimes actually adding weight to something, that already kind of takes out that slack, so it can actually make it easier, which may or may not be a good thing. Depends on kind of what the goal is at the time. But for like some of the like jumping and different things like that, one thing that actually makes that harder is taking weight off. So like Cal Dietz will have like bands hanging from real high that people are holding on to and having to then hit the ground and go with that assistance from the bands. That makes it harder, not you know, I mean, it's easier that it's lighter. You'll jump up a whole lot higher. So it's easier in that sense as far as height, but it's harder in the sense that now you have to really time that co-contraction, that muscle slack, taking it out. And that lighter load means you have to do it quicker, which that's what we're looking for. So again, it makes it harder to do it quicker, which is a good thing. And you can kind of build on that over time. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, look into some of Franz Bosch's stuff. I think it's definitely different, and there's definitely a lot of good things with it too. So that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time. Take care.